You know, when you have the songwriting of Ed Sheeran and the vocal performance of Justin Bieber, you put those together, I guess that's a recipe for a hit song. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Fibs Reacts. In today's video, what we're going to be doing is playing a game of random chart review. Now, what is random chart review? Well, basically, I'm going to be using a number generator, and we are going to be spanning between the year of 2010 and 2020, and whatever number the generator picks will be the year-end Billboard chart that we review. So yeah, I thought, kind of in light of Coachella being this weekend, I would do something more, music related. Are you going to Coachella?
Are you going to Coachella?
Coachella. All right, so I have my number generator here, so let's go ahead and generate that. Number 6. So now I'm going to pull up the Billboard chart for 2016 and let's see what we have. All right, so we will be going from number 10 all the way down to number 1, and I will be giving my thoughts on these songs. All right, so it looks like at number 10 we have Closer by the Chainsmokers featuring Halsey. Now, obviously this was a huge record when it came out. I remember this song very well. I would say overall, it definitely fit the era that it came out in. The 2010s was very heavy in like the EDM dance pop kind of genre, and the Chainsmokers, man, they basically ruled the 2010s. We don't really hear that much from the Chainsmokers anymore, and I think partly is because that sound just isn't the thing anymore. What's popular nowadays is, not really the more electronic or, again, more EDM sound, which is, of course, what the Chainsmokers were, kind of known for. I mean, I think overall it's kind of it's kind of a generic song. Nothing really groundbreaking, I would say. I mean, I think, Halsey's vocal is pretty good on the track. But overall, I mean, it's nothing like, nothing thrilling, nothing too exciting. But, I have to kind of give credit where credit is due. It was, a very popular song, and I feel like it, even to this day, is pretty nostalgic for some people. All right, next up at number 9, we have Can't Stop the Feeling by old JT, old Justin Timberlake. Now, I did not plan this. I did not know that Justin Timberlake would show up on this list, but this just happened to be the vinyl that I picked to hang up in this video. Can't Stop the Feeling, I don't know. It's definitely not my favorite JT record, and I'm a pretty big Timberlake fan, as you can see. Now, there are some, Timberlake songs that I'm not too crazy about. I do feel like some Timberlake songs tend to really drag on because, he's really trying to showcase the production side of things, working with Timbaland a lot. This song in particular, it of course did coincide with the Trolls movie soundtrack. I mean, it's fine. It's a fun pop song that, people can dance to. Something that you would hear just like at a roller rink or something like that, or like over the loudspeaker at like Ross or something like that. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of become, what do people call it? Coworker music. But yeah, I mean, like, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not saying I don't like the song. Every now and then, if it happened to come on the radio, I don't think I would necessarily change it. But is it like, like a really good song, or a really good JT song? Not necessarily. All right, next up at number 8, once again we have the Chainsmokers featuring Daya with Don't Let Me Down. Obviously, this is kind of a more dubstep, type route. Again, it's just one of those songs that I don't think has really aged well, just because it fit the mold of that point in time so well that nowadays it's just kind of like, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's like cringe, but it's just, you can tell it was from a different point in time. And unless you were just like a big fan of electro music or dubstep or what have you, it's just one of those songs that I just don't think really holds any kind of weight, especially nowadays. Again, not to say that I can't respect the production, or respect the song for what it did at the time, but nowadays that is definitely not like a song I would put on in my car. Next up at number 7, we have Hello by Adele. I actually kind of gave a brief opinion of Adele in one of my recent videos. Feel free to go check that out. Always a plug. This song, I do feel like has been a victim of memes, as some songs in the past have dealt with. I think this was one of those songs that was very popular, more popularly used in like Vines, where obviously people would give a more comedic twist to the song. Obviously this was 2016, so this was like the heyday of Vine. This song though is definitely not my favorite, and I'm not like the biggest listener of Adele. Again, it's not to say that I think Adele is bad, or that she can't sing or doesn't have a great voice, because I do think she is a great vocalist. But as far as like my personal opinion on this particular song, I'm just not really a fan. It's just kind of depressing, honestly. At number 6, we have Panda by Designer. Yeah, you want to talk about an artist who you just never hear from anymore. Designer, man, he had that one song, man. I mean, you could argue Timmy Turner was kind of his other popular song, and I don't know, but Panda was, again, it was one of those songs that was very popular on Vine. And when I first heard Panda, I was like, okay, it's kind of different. It's got a different sound to it. Obviously, Designer's flow is like barely even, like you can't even tell what he's saying. Which I guess he was like one of those first, quote unquote mumble rappers, I guess you would say. But again, Panda is just one of those songs that you don't really listen to for, lyrical value. You mostly just put it on for like a general vibe. Nowadays, I don't think it's looked upon as favorably as maybe it was back then. But for the time, I do think it was definitely a more kind of exciting record for sure. Okay, we are down to our top 5 here on the 2016 Billboard year-end chart. Number 5, we have Stressed Out by 21 Pilots. 21 Pilots, has never really been like a band that I would say I enjoy listening to. Stressed Out, if like I had to pick like a favorite 21 Pilot song, I mean, I guess it would probably be Stressed Out. But it's kind of like a kind of cliche message, to the song, Peter Pan syndrome of like, I don't want to grow up and adult responsibilities suck and all that stuff. I mean, it's just kind of whatever. It's just kind of generic. I do think there are some, interesting production choices in the song that, make it kind of cool. But aside from that, like, it's just kind of It's just kind of meh, whatever. At number 4, we have Work by Rihanna featuring Drake. Yeah, I'll listen to a Rihanna song every now and then. I don't think Rihanna's like, fantastic or anything like that, but this song in particular, I don't know. It's I do think it kind of borderlines on cringe nowadays. Again, I do think it was also one of those songs that, fell victim to the Vine takeover. And yeah, it is kind of a more annoying track in my opinion, especially how it just kind of drags on and on and on, and by the end of the song it even sounds like Rihanna is getting tired of singing the hook, because by the end of the song she's like work 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 at the beginning, and then towards the end it's like it's like she's falling asleep in the booth. It's a vibe. Like if you had it like on in like the club or something, I guess it would kind of fit that the vibe, but aside from that, like it's not something I would in particular choose to listen to. I do feel like Rihanna has better songs for sure. And the Drake feature is just Drake. And speaking of Drake, at number 3 we have One Dance featuring Wizkid and Kyla. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it. I kind of like One Dance, if I'm being completely honest. I am probably one of the very few people who can actually listen to views and not jump out a window. I really don't mind it. I know a lot of people kind of criticize it for being kind of disrespectful to whatever, like the Afrobeat genre or whatever kind of sound Drake was going for on this song. But I do think that it's just kind of it's fun. Like it's a fun record. I will stand up for One Dance. Like it's not that bad. It's not as bad as people say it is. I'm not saying it's a perfect song, but it's not as bad as people say it is. All right, our number 1 and number 2 spot are both taken by the same artist. So number 2 we have Sorry. This is by the one and only JB, Justin Bieber, the Biebs. Again, this definitely fits what was going on, during this time in music, which was the more EDM sound. Skrillex had a very large part in producing this album. I actually do really enjoy that album. I think Purpose is very underrated. Sorry, the song itself is it's all right, but I do think it is one of those songs that you can definitely tell came from that era, and I do think it maybe hasn't aged the best. And also it's kind of it is kind of just generic as far as songwriting. Nothing groundbreaking. I'm not saying every song has to be groundbreaking lyric wise, but I do think we should try to reach a little higher. But typically the more popular songs that end up on the charts are for the most part songs that you can just put on in the car and everyone can sing along to and have a good time with, and there's nothing too philosophical or anything like that. It's just it's just a fun song, and I think that's kind of what Sorry is. It's just a fun dance record. And our number 1 spot for the 2016 Billboard year-end Hot 100 list is Love Yourself by Justin Bieber. Honestly, this kind of surprised me that this was the number 1 song of 2016. So obviously this was written by Ed Sheeran, also Benny Blanco. The reason why I'm surprised it's number 1 is just because of how just simple it is. But I guess simplicity is key sometimes. Sometimes less is more. But this song is just so stripped back. It's just it's just a vocal and a guitar, but that's Ed Sheeran sound, and you translate that to Bieber, and I do think it works. It kind of has a comedic kind of undertone to it. Definitely not like a skippable song, in my opinion. So overall, I mean, Love Yourself is, I am surprised that it is, or that it was like the number one song of 2016. I mean, you did hear it all the time, on the radio, but I am surprised that, such a stripped back acoustic, simple song was number one. But, when you have the songwriting of Ed Sheeran and the vocal performance of Justin Bieber, you put those together, I guess that's a recipe for a hit song. So there you have it, guys. That is my review of the top 10 from the Billboard 2016 year-end chart. Wow, that's a mouthful. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like me to review another Billboard top 10, feel free to drop it in the comments below. Again, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will plan to see you guys next time. Catch you later. In all the clubs you get it using my name. Work, 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 and say me any night.